Hey, what's up everyone? This is Zach and I am here with an album review for you guys. Now for this review, I'll be reviewing Starset's latest album, Silos. I believe this is Starset's 5th studio album, and I know that this album was long anticipated from the fan base, of course. Now, if you've been following this channel for any length of time, you guys know that Starset is a band that has pretty much dropped off for me. And in my opinion, Starset has only really had two good albums, and those, of course, being their first two albums, Transmissions and Vessels. And I did become a fan of Starset when Vessels came out, but when they released their album Divisions, that's kind of when I checked out of the Starset fan base, you could say, because I was not a fan of Divisions, and I was not even a fan of the album that came out after that. So I don't think Starset has ever really put out a good album since their second album, Vessels. And after listening to this new one, Silos, I really can't say that my stance has changed. I was not really a big fan of this album, which I know I might tick off some of the Starset fans, but that's okay. This is just my opinion, so keep in mind, it is only just my opinion. I thought that this album was kind of average or kind of meh. I was not really a big fan of this one. And this album hasn't really changed my mind on, I guess, bringing me back to the Starset bandwagon, you could say, but I mean, this album, it has some interesting ideas going on. It has some cool moments here and there. I know there's some interlude tracks, which honestly didn't really do a whole lot for me throughout this album. And another problem I have with this album is pretty much the problem that I have with the last couple of Starset albums, is they've really taken their sound in a very poppy direction. Like, on the first two albums, like, I loved how dark they were and how larger than life those albums felt, but I don't really feel that way with these last couple of Starset albums. Like, I feel like they're really missing a lot of what those albums had. And again, they're pretty poppy sounding, which I'm not a fan of. Now, with that said, there's a couple of highlights, a couple of decent moments on this album, a couple songs that I did like. Dark Things probably being one of those songs that I do like from this album. And I did like the song Toxic, which I think was one of the singles to this album too, which I didn't think that song was bad, and it's probably my favorite on this album. I think that song is probably my favorite on this album. I think it's the song that, I think offers the most, in my opinion, when it comes to the songs on this album, as far as, just enjoyment value and replay value. And yeah, I could maybe see myself returning to that song if I'm ever in the mood to listen to Starset, which, mind you, is not that often. But I do like the song Toxic, though. I think it's a solid song. So, again, there's a couple of good tracks on this album, a couple songs that I did enjoy, but most of this album I just couldn't get into. Sorry about that, guys, but if I were to give this album a rating, I'd probably give this, honestly, a 5 out of 10. I think this album is honestly just average, in my opinion, but if you are a Starset fan, you probably will give this a higher rating, but that's okay. But either way, let me know what you think of this album if you've listened to this one. So with that said, thank you all for watching, take care, and have a good one.